Hello everyone, my name is Kamlesh. So in this video, we will look into some common operations that can be performed on an array. Now, I would have mentioned earlier that arrays are the one data structures which are highly used in manipulation and analyzing different images, and also a lot in like machine learning and predictive models. So array is the data structure which actually supports images, and even videos are broken into frames and then analyzed, and there each frame actually is a high dimensional array only. So we need to be very clear about how this array works. So I'm just including one video for the common operations that are done on an array. So we will start with taking the same kind of an example where we had like class 1 and class 2, and with two different marks, and then we just C bind it for class 1 students for physics and chemistry marks, and we create like the first the first sheet of our array. Then we can view as how this array looks like. So if you look in the console part of it, you see that we have physics marks for 4 students, 1 2 3 4, and the same as chemistry marks also is there. And then we go to class 2, we create the marks for class 2 students. So if you look at it, when I'm in doing the data input, I'm using a float as a format. So again, I can view as what are my class 2 student marks. Now, as mentioned earlier, the row number, column number, and the sheet number is something that comes when we save it in an array format. So that's what we do here, and we can look into both the both sheets of an array here in the student marks, where an array function is used, and the class 1 student marks and class 2 student marks are saved together. Now if I want to view only the second sheet, so how can I view it? Sorry, not only the second sheet, but the row number, column number, and the sheet number. So the row number, column number, and the sheet number will point out to the second sheet, the second row, and the second column, and the value comes out to be 71. So this is what we so this is the number that we are referring to. You can look at it. This is the second sheet, this is the second column, and this is the second row of data. The same way, if so, like earlier we have looked into this as how we do subsetting. So I am taking the first to third rows of data, the second column, and from both the sheets. Okay, so when I don't give any number, it takes like all. So here it shows the same data. Okay, so first to third rows of and the second column till two columns. So that's how it shows me the data. So now we move to our next section. Here I have just put in some examples. So here it is asked to create an array of three-dimensional of 24 elements. So if it already says 24 elements, that I need to break into in such a way that I accommodate in four different sheets of two rows and three column each. Okay, so that's how I save it. I use the array function. I use the numbers like from 1 to 5, and then I save it accordingly. Okay. Now, now it is asked to assign some dimension names, okay, of your choice to the array using dim names function. So here I just put in dim names as 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then if I want to assign, so now I have kind of given the dimensions here. Now I want to assign names to these dimensions. Okay, so now as I already know that the first is a 2, 3, and 4, so because I have already given the the shape of the dimension, so accordingly I assign names to it, and I get this. Now I can look into how my array looks like. Okay, so let's look into the array that we have prepared. So if you look into it, we were asked to keep 24 element three dimensional, and we kept like two rows of data with three column each. So if you look at it, all the four actually has two rows and three columns. Now the next is we also mentioned that we will be having four sheets. Okay, so O, N, U and R, the names that we have given, these are represented here, O, N, U and R. Now this was the dimension third, which is like the sheet number. So this is our sheet number, where I have kept two rows by three columns each, and the data is stored accordingly. So this is how we store data in arrays, and that's the one example that I kept. So let's look into one more example. Now it says that you assign some dimension names of your choice to the array using the arguments of the array. Okay, so if you look at it, in the last example we used the dimension names out of our array function, but in this question it is asked to use dimension names. That means that is a function, sorry, that is a argument of array function which I need to use. So I will use array function, and then I use data, the dimensions and the dimension names. I select it, I press enter, and then this is already stored, and then I can just have a view of it, and the same array is shown here. So these were some common operations that needs to be done on arrays. Thank you for watching this video.